Well, you have to use everything else, but the problem is everything else doesn't take the same damage as rapid fire. Like when it shows you DPS, it's based on your best skill. So in my case, it's saying that I'm doing like 12,000 damage for rapid fire, but then like as soon as I start shooting Hungering Arrow, it drops it down to like 2,000 damage, and it's like, oh fuck.
Where are you seeing your DPS numbers at?
That's right below where your items are. It's got the one with the sword, one with the shield, one with the
Oh yeah.
health. Yeah, that sword one is your damage per second.
Yeah,
And
okay.
if you hit details, it'll give you even further details, but
Okay, so is that based off of the rotation for what you're doing, or
it's based off of the collection of items, certain stuff on it, and skills. Like if you remove rapid fire from any one of those demon hunters that are playing,
as in the overpowered ones that don't know how to play the character but are
like
playing it with the
any
RT?
demon hunter out there will use rapid fire that I've run into.
But
there's nobody who knows how to use it without it.
You better go create a demon hunter.
You could try. I mean,
I'm gonna go create a demon hunter just because people say shit like that. It's not against you; it's against those people. I know, like, no. But you're right. Rapid fire, man. I played demon hunter. The rapid fire is sick.
It's a go-to.
It's over top.
Yeah. Now, being able to use his other skills, like vault and evade and shit, was great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
But what you're saying is they're running into problems with damage reflect monsters because they don't know actually how to play the character. Because they rely so much on rapid fire that they don't look at the other skills. As soon as reflect
damage pops up, they fucking fire out like 100 arrows at once because of rapid fire, and it just reflects right back on them, and they kill themselves. And then they're sitting there like, that was dumb. I'm like, no shit.
A demon hunter seems like the kind of character that could fuck you really hard on a run.
Oh yeah.
Like they seem like the type of character that would fuck you really hard.
But on that note, my demon hunter, because of throwing on the experience shit, I threw one fucking Marquise Ruby and a crossbow, and I'm sitting at like 6,000 damage per second in normal mode. And that's how I got her from like level 12 to 26 in a matter of hours. Because it's just you walk through everything. Like, I'm like, well, this is dumb. I know. As soon as I hit Nightmare and I finally run into some reflect damage guys, I'm gonna screw myself. But everything else, you just mow through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I like to get into the nuance of the character.
There's lots of diversity you can play around with it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the Witch Doctor has so many different styles.
Witch Doctor and Wizard seem to be the most diverse. Because a Wizard, you can play it up close, doing like Frost Nova and the fucking Hurricane thing, and like Frost Armor and all that shit. Or you can stay back, kind of mine, little mid to far range.
Yeah. I like the Witch Doctor's close range, far range.
You're lost, aren't you?
I never played it. I lost track about halfway. About when I turned on that, I was like, yeah, no, I'm getting too lost, so I just turned it on. I figured if there's something salvageable for the podcast, I can throw it in there, but just record. It was the most confusing conversation I ever sat through.
Have to play the game. We're Diablo nerds.
Yeah. I can tell from the spikes.
We go so far into the game that we actually learn a rotation so that you can keep your regen and yourself alive. You get your regen. You can keep your regen up because that's what is allowing you to output ridiculous damage against wave upon wave upon wave of demons. And that is what Diablo is. Yeah. Diablo is nothing more. People who play Diablo from outsiders coming into it, who've never played the other Diablos, don't understand. We don't play Diablo because we play Diablo once for the story, and we love the story, and then we play Diablo thousands
to
of
the
other times
ground.
after, right to the point where you're like, my eyes are bleeding from playing Diablo, because it's one of those games that can work that process of figuring out a rotation of your own to output this mass amount of damage to survive against wave upon wave upon wave upon wave. And as you get into the higher difficulties, you got things that will just
Punch you right in the mouth.
and you're
Like,
dead.
Run you over. And then sit on your face. With
And
their
you just
spike
sit there
down.
like,
Okay, well that happened.
okay,
That was a thing. Let's try this again.
Let's do this one more
how
time.
do I change that?
Sometimes it's gear.
Well, that's
Last night was
exactly,
gear.
That's exactly how it worked for me. I just got on a nightmare mode and I'm doing like 10,000 damage and I thought I was all hot and then just step into fucking hell mode and it just got run over by a truck. I'm like, what the fuck is
Hey,
happening?
that happens. The first few enemies they throw at you are nothing either. It's like
Oh, yeah,
the
you're-
zombies. You're like, oh, this is gonna be easy.
No, but you won't get past that first mission. You go to fight Captain Dalton in their basement. I'm like, oh, this shouldn't be a problem. Fuck. What the hell? I'm like, I can handle the freaking wretched mother before this, but this thing?
Oh shit!
I also have a tendency of playing the character that's the easiest to play, but has the deepest nuances if you learn the other trees and stuff of them. Because what happened when in Diablo 2, I played the Necromancer, which one spec was just a spec into the skeletons and the summon stuff, and Lathan's always been the barbarian. And so basically
Give him
they called us
he hit stuff.
simple. I play the character that conjures shit to
probably
do my
enjoy the
bidding.
I had a monk on the PC, and it is.
It's not
difficult
good.
to get past
Lathan
the first little bit.
Lathan and I have the same issue with the monk.
I don't know. I got past it.
I can't do it, man. It's just
Oh, I will.
I'm getting there. He's
Eventually.
like level 10 or
9.
something, like 9 or 10. So
Well, I haven't moved off of the first freaking rune you unlock for that first punch. Because it gives you the ability to teleport. You're like, oh my god! See, like, you don't teleport very far. It's like half
I
the
know.
screen width, but
I don't know.
I can teleport.
I have
when
to
you
get
can just
there.
teleport from enemy to enemy and punch them in the face, I'm like, yes! I win!
I'll get there. Right now, I still like the Witch Doctor. I like the Legmancer. He would leg. You could get so many
All three of
skeletons
us.
on screen.
Oh yeah.
For all
I think
three of
what
us
were we
in a
sitting
room.
at? I think we had about
I had about 30 skeletons
I was
total,
sitting at like 29ish, yeah.
and I had the golem, the blood golem, and then
yeah. See, I didn't have the golem, but I had the revives. So by the time
And
it
I
was all
had the
said and done,
revives.
I think I had like 32 skeletons because I had like one or two things, and then another 27 mages, and then I could revive like 60 enemies. So it's like by the time it's all said and done, there's like over 100 guys on the screen.
oh yeah, and that's
And-
3 people with 100 guys, and we're not talking fancy internet connection of today.
Like-
we're talking early high speed
Early
internet
2000s
connection.
high speed.
So we
So
would constantly
someone
lag
would go
people
in and
out
be
of
like,
the game.
"Hey, you want to throw up a teleportal for us?" Okay. We fucking pop through, they drop.
And come back to it and be like, what the shit?
Yeah, I forgot to warn you about that.
Oh, my computer handled it just
Yeah.
fine. Our internet handled it just
Fine.
fine.
They
too.
look at you like, "How many minutes do you have?" I'm like,
Count
it up."
Too many to count on my fingers.
60.
Well,
60 just within skeletons. Oh yeah.
put as
So,
many as you can.
but
Crash again, they come back. Well, exactly 120 seconds.
so what I
Hold
also
on, wait, I think I got it wrong.
let me try this again.
Yep. It took a lot to get them too, because you had to actually have things that were dead around you.
Yeah, you had to revive them from the corpse.
Yeah.
You couldn't just.
So it started out all fine and dandy. It was
By the
about
time we
it
hit
was
where we were
about
going, it was ridiculous.
it was about minion number 40. They start to go, how
What
many
the
more
hell?
is gonna show up here?
As many as the server can handle.
Well, I think it was funny because I would always sit there and it'd be like, as I'm summoning about my 25th skeleton, they're like, "Are you almost done yet?" I'm like, "I'm not
No.
even through the skeletons yet. There's mages and revives after this." They're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah."
They definitely downed the
amount you
the
could have.
summoning
They
guy.
downscaled the whole game.
Yeah, you have to really play Master 5 to get what we used to deal with on
I don't think it was anywhere
Hell mode.
that hard.
Diablo 2
Once you
on
hit the
Hell
last,
mode.
Well, yeah, if you're well equipped though, you can handle it no problem.
yeah,
Yeah, but how long did it take us to get well equipped in Hell mode? even when we were just consistently running.
2 down.
2 down, still on your first bottle.
And I'm 2/3 through it, so.
Your plan is flawed,
It's
sir.
falling
We're seeing a two pizza
per bottle.
per bottle. You're gonna have way more bottles than pizza.
Oh, that's okay.
The coefficient doesn't work out
It's okay.
then.
It only costs, what, $8?
I like how you say that like that's nothing. $8 is a lot of money. You know what I can do with $8? I can furnish a house with
Anymore?
$8.
Okay, well, okay. The
I
drinks.
did furnish my house for almost $8.
I should correct that because the drinks cost $8. The pizzas, on the other hand.
The,
Maybe a
mo-
little more.
the most expensive thing in here I purchased myself is that TV sitting up on the PC. Everything else is either a gift or built or purchased via garage sale.
Oh, I thought the Xbox would have been.
No, the TV's worth more than the Xbox.
$1,000.
Well, it was worth more. That TV's seen the shit, man.
I was gonna
Best
say that
ever.
TV right now is probably about
7 years old.
No, I'm thinking like price wise.
$250.
Yeah.
At excess cargo, you could probably pick it up for $30.
No, I was thinking probably around the 200 mark, maybe.
At the time, it was hot.
Oh, I know.
End, man, $1,000.
That's like my smart TV. I paid like $1,100 for that. I bet you I can go on now and 5 for 6. Like, what the fuck did I pay 11 for?
Paid 11 to have a smart TV before everyone else.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Dude, I'm still rocking just a straight up TV. It does the trick. It shows flashy pictures. I mean, that's all it
That's
needs
what I
to do,
expect.
right? In HD, I get flashy pictures in HD. That's all I want.
Yeah.
If it can play my Xbox, yay!
I know.
I'm a simple guy. I like the simple things.
Well, I'm pretty simple when it comes to that. I just bought one good one for me. But when it comes to TV for connection, I've got a travel Xbox. Do you think I care what TV it is?
As long as it shows
Fuck,
flashy.
I've played it on a standard definition.
I've played
television.
Xbox on
Yeah.
standard def.
Played my 360 on that. No,
I played my
I was
first
laughing
Xbox
at it because
360.
you still got to go on it and flick the little thing up. I'm like, oh my god, I've never done this before.
My first Xbox 360, I played on a TV that was 19 inches. That's like you're sitting like this.
Back to like
The smallest TV I ever played on was the 5-inch television that one Cole used to have. That
camper, yeah.
little tiny, little black and
much, yeah.
white one.
Yeah.
I hooked my NES up to that thing and played it on that one time. So, you know how, like, Super Mario 3 on a 20-inch, Super Mario 3 on a 5-inch. Black and white.
What? Is that a Goomba or me?
What, we pull folk.
So you want to know the story of how we actually met?
Yeah, it was something about a bench and killing someone with said bench.
Yeah, we
It was,
were class trip to Shikina.
Grade 7
Yeah.
with the Shakina. It was the first time both our classes had
I've
interacted.
ever been together. It was like the beginning of the year, grade 7, where it was like just getting ready.
I was done during, and he was Hanley. And I was having allergies act up, so I couldn't go on a little hike. So I just stayed back and whatever. And he was back there. There was also Nick there.
Yeah, Nick King.
Yeah.
He was being a dick.
He was being Nick King.
He was being a king.
Yeah, I got you. I know.
We get it.
We've
Brenda
dealt with
King
them.
as our bus driver, so
Yeah.
I know.
We've dealt with them before.
The kings, but he was being like a real dick to him. Like,
Yeah.
and I stepped up and like, hey dude, fuck off.
Don't be a dick.
And then I
He
absolutely
lost it.
lost it. But when I
He's
get
like-
angry, I'm not the screaming, like,
He's
throwing punches.
quiet,
I'm very quiet.
finds the largest thing he can and picks it up and tries to throw it at you.
Oh, not even that. If I actually wanted to, I probably would just like lift somebody up and beat the shit out of them that way. Like, I get intense adrenaline rush, but I don't want to waste it, so I just like hold on to it, and that makes me very quiet, because if I say a word, I explode. So I'm just very quiet and very deliberate in my actions, and I just kind of walk over to a bench, put my
Pick it
hands
up.
on it, and like, picked it up.
Yeah, he just like fucking picked this thing up. I'm like, whoa! I did my like,
And you ran over there. Like, no.
whoa! Calm your shit.
And then the teacher came over like, alright, what's going on over here? I was like, nothing. So I put it down. She's like,
whoa.
you can go take a walk. And Nick, get out of here.
I'd leave.
And then I started just walking away, and he came up and was like, what the fuck was that?
It's just like one of those moments like, whoa man, calm down.
And instantly, anger went away, and we became heterosexual life partners.
Not as complicated as our story.
I don't even remember our story.
I
You're
think
gonna
it
have
was
to
like-
start it.
I was buddies with Dougie, and then he came to talk to you about RuneScape or something like that. That's
Yeah,
how I met
yeah.
you, and then it was just like, there, done.
Yeah,
And the rest was history.
the rest was
Pretty lame, huh?
video games
Yeah,
brought us
somebody was
together.
almost
Go
killed in
figure.
your story.
Yeah,
Like, come
what's
on.
up
There
with
was lots of things killed. They were just the digital variety.
Well, nothing you would go to actual jail for.
Just RuneScape too.
That game was so much better before they updated it.
They have
It was still
re-updated it.
like
Yeah.
8-bit.
When it was still like the flash graphics.
Yeah,
and really-
6 pixels.
where the guy was like,
character.
"Ugh."
He stepped
Yeah,
forward.
ugh.
He's just like,
It's like, I'm going to chop wood. I'm going to hack this monster.
I'm going to
Same
cook.
motion.
I'm going to cook.
I'm going to mine. It's like,
They're
Oh,
going
man.
to
awesome.
I spent
Put
so
some-
much
put
time
some rave
mining in
music
that
behind
game.
See, I got into it when when you could actually move, and actions had their own set of things. I mean, I came in early when all the same thing was the same, but then they quickly made it their own
Just
thing.
after, yeah.
But it was still playable because I mean I played it.
I don't know. They lost me once they switched the graphics in that game.
But
They
oh
changed
no
it
no no no
again.
no, that's not the worst of it. They re-updated it, completely changed it.
It's probably now, what, like full 3D?
Oh,
It's awful.
it looks worse.
How do you make that game look any worse?
Oh,
People still love that game.
Oh,
They-
hardcore.
Is there hardcore?
it's so cartoonishly stylized nowadays.
Understand.
You can put real currency in it now too.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand, and this is coming from a guy who played World of Warcraft.
But that's brilliant,
hardcore
you
for
know-
like
you know,
4
Okay,
years.
remember the tutorial world, right? You
Yeah.
went to
I
they don't
never
have
left
that
the
anymore.
Tutorial world forever. I guess the tutorial world where I was started in RuneScape was the very first place, and I spent like
Newgrounds or whatever it was called.
I spent-
the one where the castle.
yeah.
No, it wasn't Newgrounds.
It wasn't Newgrounds.
That
It
was
was
a
the castle.
website.
That was a website.
it still
But it
is a
was a castle.
website, by the way.
Oh, I know. It's
Still has some of the best flash animations on it.
it's still awesome.
But now you just start in a fort in the middle of a giant war with goblins, and oh, it sucks.
The fuck is going on here, guys?
I feel like I missed something.
And it doesn't even like I never really got that far because I just created a new account. I was like, I wonder what it's like nowadays. and I couldn't even get through it. I don't even know what the leveling system kind of thing interaction is.
I
Yeah.
liked it because you basically, if you wanted to do magic, you'd go buy a bunch of runes and do magic and level up your magic that way, or farm runes off of them after you hit a certain level.
Outside of.
Like once you got into the higher stuff, you would. I don't remember anything. I just remember the core gameplay of it. After you got into the higher levels, you would actually have to go and kill shit and just farm for hours. That's what that game was a game of
It
farming.
was a farm simulator.
See,
Oh, yeah.
I just remember running around looking for. Oh, there's level 87. I'm following him because he's gonna kill this, and I get the experience for him killing it as long as I punched it once or something. You know, like
I spent a lot of time mining in the first area for
Lobsters.
Lobsters were the shit, man. I was the king of the fucking world.
I made so much money off of lobsters. It was insane.
But they changed the system,
They changed it all.
and it fucked my lobstering, man. I wasn't rich.
even a member or anything, so I had to wait until they opened up the.
Bitch, I was a member just so I could hold the reins like the kingpin. In my realm, I was the shit. Everyone bought from this guy because I would always undercut. If someone said 40 gold, I'm like, hey, come over here, man.
35.
35, and you have a full stack for yourself.
Alright. Anyways,
But yeah, it was like 35 gold, man. It's yours. 35. I was willing to go as low as 30. They'd haggle. It was a whole system.
I
man.
made my initial fortune in like high experience through just fishing, and like I would occasionally just cook just to try to keep it up a little
That
bit.
was my shit. Fishing and cooking was my favorite part of that.
After I got up, I don't know how I went over to mining, got like almost maxed that thing out, got into smithing, and then got into wood cutting, and then I made a bunch more money, and that's when I quit.
Then you're like, it's game. I got nothing out of this but some annoyances.
See, that's kind of. I think I only ever did wood cutting. It's like bucket trees, kill them.
People would pay ridiculous for different kinds of trees.
Oh yeah, because you could make
Fucking
bows
boss.
out of the trees. If you were a bowyer, you could make bows out of those trees.
Yeah.
I was everything. My guy was
thing is-
the guy I gave to Lathan after I quit had just about everything maxed on it. It was so overpowered.
Just sitting there like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this guy?
The whole point after
I've been
that.
playing a bunch at that point.
Yeah, but when I gave it to him, blacksmithing and mining were maxed, cooking and fishing were maxed. Bowyer was halfway there.
And if RuneScape is known for anything, if it has any legacy, it is one that was one of the greatest wastes of time in the most pointless things. Even story-based
But that was a fun
games like that still have a little bit of a point, give you a little bit of a reward. Not RuneScape, you just sit there.
That was the point of it, though.
It was a time waster
adventure.
game. But what was kind of cool about RuneScape was watching it grow. Because when I started playing RuneScape, I found it in the back catalog of an adventure. It was in the back catalog on a website that was dedicated to just weird flash games.
Probably Boneyard.
No, well, maybe it was. It probably was Boneyard. It was one of those. It was either.
Boneland.com.
It was
Yeah,
one of
I
those
spent a shit ton
weird
on
little flash game sites, and it was just in the back catalog. Like you had to go to the site map, into the action RPG, into the fantasy section in order to get a huge list of them, and it was like at the bottom, and it was not. It was played by lots of people, but it was like basically a server. And
yeah, if you didn't have enough, if you weren't there at the right time, you had to wait in line.
yeah, you had to wait in queues and stuff. So I started playing it very, very first. I think it was 1.2 or something like that. It was not very far in. And just to watch it, how it grew, and it grew fucking huge, and then it just because everyone moved to World of Warcraft.
I didn't even move to World of Warcraft. That was
Or moved on to other games.
yeah. That's when I started getting more into Xbox. But it was fun one day, and then did one update, and
then you didn't have fun.
all the ones that went in like me started around my time. We all were like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Wonder what
And we
they
all just
did?
quit.
Same thing they did to me. They weren't after me. They wanted the next
They're
age
trying to
group.
get the next
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they've done again. They've hit the next age group. The next age group. They don't. The whole point of RuneScape is for them to make money.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's
they're
worked so
making
far.
money off of this. This is their business. They go to work every day and monitor the system, watch it, make sure it's not falling apart. And they update it for the fan base that's coming up, the people who are becoming fans, and not the people who are elevating out of the fandom. Because that's what happens. You want to keep cycling in new players. So what they're going to do, especially in a game like that. But they're not losing anyone. That's what I'm saying. It's not stupid because what they're doing is
Yeah.
but what they lost with him, they gained 4 or 5 new young kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they lose 5,000
They lose
guys
the
or
old guard and they bring
6,000
in the new ones.
guys his age, and they're bringing in kids that are my niece's age, who are 8 and 9, who will play this game till they're 16, and when they move on, they're going to update and they're going to keep it so that it's fresh for the kids who are finding it, so that they constantly have a stream of money.
I mean,
Business.
it makes sense. I just wish they would have done it a little bit kinder, just to.
More subtle.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft-ish.
Yeah.
Blizzard-like. They're not trying.
Blizzard's
But
smart,
Blizzard's smart about it because they're
They've had-
taking what they
what is
get
this?
from their community.
What is this? though.
Well,
Which anniversary of WoW is it? 9th?
something like that. 9th
Well,
or 10th.
not only that. I mean, look at
But-
it.
but
They started
yeah,
out with
Diablo
what,
before
like
that.
StarCraft and Warcraft.
And Warcraft.
Warcraft,
Yeah.
Which was
StarCraft,
basically real-time
Diablo.
strategy, and people wanted them to expand it into WoW. So they
That,
did.
that's what happened. They went Warcraft. Well, they had a bunch of other games before that, but the ones that really propelled them,
StarCraft was out before
they were about the same time.
Diablo. I think was
Diablo
their
and
first.
StarCraft were around the same time.
No, Warcraft was definitely their first.
Warcraft was the first.
Because that's what they built their first BlizzCon around was Warcraft.
Yeah.
And that's where they announced that they were working
World of
on
Warcraft.
StarCraft and
Well, that's where they
Diablo.
announced that.
and then once they released Diablo, they had this big announcement that they were turning Warcraft into a MMO, which was huge
Because the only
It
other
was the
MMOs at
first
the
of its
time
kind,
were
really.
like Ultima and EverQuest.
that were like ridiculously hard. The menus are so
They weren't
confusing.
they weren't new gamer friendly, so like unless you had someone bring you in and show you the ropes, if you were
lost.
jumping into an Ultima or you were jumping into the
That's-
EverQuest
but
at the
that's
time,
also why EverQuest was so lucrative, because you had people who would go on there, build a character, and then
and
sell it.
to you.
Because someone would come in and they don't have to go
EverQuest
through the
definitely-
shit.
EverQuest was definitely the one that
definitely
pushed
pushed turning
Whereas
playing a
WoW
video
don't.
game into playing a video game and then selling your high-end characters for ridiculous sums. But there were also people who committed suicide because when your character dies in EverQuest,
that. It's dead.
your
It's
character
starting to-
dies in EverQuest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard
So
to-
they had a lot of
hardcore
people
mode,
who put their heart and soul into building
2-3
this
years of
character.
their life.
And then when they died, and usually they died because some other player's an asshole. So, some other player was a Lathan. He'd be the kind of guy who would do
You
that.
do that a lot?
If I
It's
see
not that he does it a lot. It's that when he
I'm
plays
malicious
a
about
video game, he becomes the video game. He's playing it as an escapism, like all of us do. So he becomes the character. So if his character is an alliance, we'll use World of Warcraft references here. If his character is an alliance, and say he's on a PvP server, his character is an alliance, he's for the alliance, and therefore if any horde shows up within the alliance territory, Lathan will dispatch himself to go put an axe right between his eye.
Or die trying.
or die trying.
Yeah. Because that's what you do when you're playing a game like that in a PvP server. You're there to
Yeah.
basically slaughter each other to the point where it's like a war.
Yeah.
And he plays that well. In EverQuest, they didn't have the respawn, so you got guys who are playing to the character, which I have no problem with. They're having fun with the game, coming in and they just wipe a swath through all these guys who are just like
Or you
So
get
hard.
or you get those people who bought their character, have no idea how to use it, go up there and die.
It
And
was
it's
just a
like
waste
you
of money.
just spent like $100 buying this character because you're an idiot and you don't know how
No.
to use it, and then you get killed.
I don't say they're idiots. I say they're impatient and they don't want to experience the game. And that's not gaming to me. Gaming to me is where you put your time and effort into building that character and learning that character, and that's basically gaming. You learned how to play that character. Why video games are so awesome is because it's a constant drive of learning a new thing. It's why we eat them up and then throw them to the next side and open the next box and put the next one in. It's a constant need to be learning, and because we don't like to learn the cool stuff about history and stuff all the time. Sometimes
that's why games like Assassin's Creed exist.
But
because it kind of gives you a little bit of historical
with
thing
your
there.
video game.
But
Most
they
of the
also
stuff-
put right in it, and they go, okay, not all facts are true.
can I put a plea out? Am I not the only person out there who wants to see a historically accurate pirate game? I think our house is bugged to start with because the day before Ubisoft announces
Assassin's
Creed Black Flag, Wade and I have a conversation because I'm watching him play 3, and I go, dude, you know what I would play? I'd play the shit out of a pirate game like this. If I could just build my own boat, build my crew, and just be a pirate. And
Well, then comes Black.
Oh, you should have just put that all over the internet and any message.
I
board you
didn't
could've.
say
You
it
didn't
at
say
all.
anything.
It
And
was
then-
just a weird
No, no.
conversation amongst us.
Imagine how much, if people caught wind of it, how much it would just light up like they would think they had a leak somewhere and you got it. That
But
would be amazing.
It was literally the day before. I tweet him after reading an ING tweet. I tweet him going, dude, I think our house is bugged. And then I send him the ING
The link, the IGN link
IGN link.
of the Ubisoft announcement that they're making Black Flag about pirates.
And I'm like, right there. Our houses are, but I want a historically accurate one. I want to play like Blackbeard. I want to go through, no! Pirates was good! Pirates was good,
It was
but it was not that.
It was historically accurate, though.
I know, but it wasn't that. I want that as the next pirate game. Someone get on that. Why am I the only one who wants a historically accurate pirate game? Just like they're releasing this Roman game on the Xbox One,
Right.
it will fucking suck because they won't even, I hope it's amazing. I hope it blows the fucking doors down and it's actually historically accurate with real historical facts, but chances are it's going to be a bunch of fucking bullshit.
So, it'll be fun. And that's what video games are.
I want the stories. That's the best part. If you learn anything, video games can be a learning, educational tool without being boring.
I think, yeah, with the Rise, if they do it right, it'd probably be a hybrid.
Oh yeah, if they do
If they do it well, it could be a hybrid on the caliber of Assassin's Creed. But I mean,
it's dealing with a historical. Like, we know the Romans existed. We know they did this shit.
Do we though?
I think if they went back and they did, yes, because we have Caesar's journal.
But see,
Someone could've made that
sometimes history does not make for the best gameplay.
It doesn't. Yeah.
But the Romans, dude.
the
Romans,
yeah.
they enjoyed a good old fucking strangling from time to time. They would go out.
So did the
They're
Normans.
fucking. I love Viking. That game had shitty controls, but that game was fun as shit. I would love a historically accurate Viking game too, like that, because it's the stories, it's the tales. You don't have to be fully historically accurate, but tell their stories. Go back into history and teach people something.
But that kind of screws it sometimes because you got.
Not if they do it right, though.
Yeah, but not all history is good. So
No,
it limits you
but
on
I don't-
what cultures you can do, right?
But I'm talking video games run off of blood, guts, and gore, and humanity's history is blood, guts, and gore. If they did a Bible game to the Bible, wow! I'd play the shit out of a Bible game if it was to the Bible! That is like, wow! I would play the shit out of that! Like, it's that kind of stuff. Our history is bloody and exciting, and we invented this. We invented that. We invented a fucking machine where we can go back and do this shit and teach us about our own past while having fun while slaughtering millions of people. Like,
I'm gonna go have fun when I go back
You're
and I
gonna
get to the part
have-
where there's more blue on the screen than there is gray of the background. That's gonna hurt.
Good luck. You're gonna hate me.
What's
'cause I'm
gonna happen
loud.
when your one-eared editor goes deaf? The fuck you gonna do then?
We'll get you a hearing eye person. I don't know what you'd call them. What would you call them? Hearing eye, like they have eyes and ears.
I'll just get a signer and they'll sign it.
They'll sign it when I get really excited. Their hands will look like this. You'll be like, slow down.
I'll be rewind 5 seconds. Sign again.
You'll have fun with me because I go from really quiet to really loud.
Play this section in slow-mo and then sign it to me.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun with that.
And I'm just gonna jump in halfway through the Diablo conversation. That's when I started recording.
That's fine. That's the way to do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but I would love to see games like that where they're exhilarating. Like Rise looks fun. It looks like it could be an amazing game, and if they do it right with a I want to see a historical game like that where they give you that blood, guts, and gore adventure, but they fill you in with knowledge that it is actual historical events because
see, most history games
focus too much on the history and not enough on the gameplay.
They pick a story so broad, like the Crusades,
generally dry as a fart.
The Crusades and the Templars. Well, what about the Assassins or whatever they're called? Well, I mean, that could make a story. Instead, they could probably choose actually historic events and make a decent game about it, just by going off the history. Not really like the Odyssey. The Odyssey has an opportunity to be a pretty damn good game if they.
I think I have a version of it.
Here's a good
one. No, I have Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah.
I have not played through it. I would like to play through it, but it's terrible. It's got terrible cameras.
Or like
it's a Codemasters game.
A good one
disappointed.
Is Dante's Inferno. Perfect example. Because it's an actual poem that exists.
Oh yeah.
And the guy just did a creative freedom to make all the circles of hell and play through it.
And like, if I'm not saying, because if you focus,
Iliad, the Siege of Troy, that'd be a pretty good like multiplayer almost kind of thing.
And you know what they released recently? They released Spartacus on Xbox Live as a free, but it's a fighter, and it's only on Xbox Live, and you basically jump from load screen to little city center to load screen to fight. It's a free game. I don't complain about loads. I'm not like I'm complaining about the load screen. It's fun to play. You play Gladiator. You basically are like you playing both the Gladiator and the guy who owns the Gladiator, where you're kind of managing gear and managing fighters and managing where you're going next, and that's awesome. Like that's teaching you kind of what would have been like. Now imagine if they did that, but they did it like Mass Effect.
You know what?
That'd be cool.
You know
where
what
you are a very story driven,
I hope
gladiatorial kind of game.
I hope who's making Rise?
I'm not sure who's making it. I just know that they're making it, and I'm so excited for it.
If it was BioWare that would make it, that'd be amazing.
I'm also
if it's somebody that follows the BioWare model.
Huh?
How do they spell Rise?
RYSE.
I'm pretty sure that's Ubisoft.
So, fingers crossed, Ubisoft has given me Assassin's Creed.
Well, if it's Ubisoft, it'll be
quality.
Assassin's Creed stuff. Yeah.
Talking about Assassin's Creed 1 did not sell me on the Assassin's Creed franchise. Assassin's Creed 2 sold me on the Assassin's Creed franchise.
The Ezio trilogy?
Yeah, Altair was a bit dry, but I find it adds to the second one if you played it.
Yeah. I see my problem.
But you can play it without it.
Yeah, you can play it without it.
Another reason I can't, like, I played pretty much all the way through Assassin's Creed 1. But what happened was it was before I had Xbox Live, and when I got Xbox Live, I couldn't figure out how to transfer my old Xbox
Oh, so you had to try and
main.
go back and get your achievements.
To my one I have for Xbox Live, and so I lost all the achievements in every game I had played up till then, and it was just one of those games I try to play. It's not the achievements I'm trying to get. It's just at its time it was an amazing game and it handled real well. And now going back to it, the handling on the first one is terrible.
Terrible.
And it's that whole the controls can remove you from the game, right? Sometimes the story can propel you through it, and I've gotten quite far in the game before, but it's just I find that once I start to die frequently, and it's just like I can't do it because when I get frustrated, I break remotes, chairs, objects. Sometimes I scream at people. This is why I don't play Call of Duty anymore.
This is why you should never have a pet, because you'd probably be sitting there like playing the game. Fuck!
I actually one time hit my cat at my mom's, and he's not my cat. He's her cat, but he likes to hang out with me when I game. He likes to sit in my lap and he likes to chill with me. One day I got mad and I went fuck, and I didn't see him. I forgot he was on my lap, and I hit him right in the head with my hand. Punched the cat right in the head. He's like, he gets his look like,
what the fuck?
Why would you do that? And then I'm like, oh shit, sorry, dude. And then I sat there and I apologized to this cat for 20 minutes.
It's like, I didn't mean
It's cat. I know it's cat. I know he really doesn't understand it, but I had to make sure that he understood that I'm quitting because I don't want to kill anything.
Somebody's battery pack thing is crushed.
Oh, well.
That's one of the extra ones.
Yep.
Not anymore. It was one of the extra ones.
Dude, it was.
I was just looking at it like, oh, that's not good. I don't think that'll hold batteries anymore.
I think
That's covered in nacho cheese.
that's enough for now, isn't it? Or do you want to keep
Yeah.
going?
You guys want to keep going with conversation? I'm just editing down the good parts.
This is true. I don't know. Next topic, or shall we get some controllers and play some Diablo 3?
I
So you-
forgot about my pants.
What about your pants?
The zipper.
Does it work?
Oh, it works.
Doesn't bother
I just
me.
forgot to do it up.
That's a good spot to end. That's a good spot to end right there.